Congratulations on that squishy little newborn and all of the newborn snuggles that you are receiving. If you are here because those newborn snuggles might be a little too much because they only want to contact nap with you, then you're in the right place. We are going to talk all about trying to transfer your newborn to the bassinet for their naps during the day. Hi, my name is Sarah Bossio, and as the lead pediatric sleep expert at Your Zen Baby Sleep, I have helped hundreds of families get their sleep on track. And yes, you can work on newborn sleep. I am excited to tell you all about it so that maybe you can have a little bit of free time while your newborn naps to take a shower, I don't know, brush your teeth, eat a meal. The possibilities are endless. Let's get into it. Some ground rules here. The newborn period in terms of sleep would be considered anywhere from 0 to 16 weeks old. Anything after that would be a baby in the eyes of sleep development. So as long as you're in that age range, you're in the right spot. When we are talking about newborn sleep, please keep in mind that it is really variable and inconsistent. You are not going to see much of a pattern that will evolve until your child is about 4 months old. And that can be really frustrating, especially for type A's like me. But it's helpful to know that even within the chaos, we can implement some type of routine to help get our children used to sleeping on a flat surface instead of sleeping on us all day long. You probably already know that you're not going to have a set schedule throughout the day, right? So you may start your day at really different times every morning. And if I was going to tell you best practice, I would say start your day at the same time every morning so that you could really carry through and have a more consistent timing of your naps and your feedings. However, in the newborn period, I really like to encourage flexibility, especially because your nights can be so wonky. There could be a night where you're up a ton. If you're up a ton, I want you to make up for that nighttime sleep. I want your baby to make up for it too, but I want you to make up for the nighttime sleep by sleeping in a little bit longer in the early morning hours. That's okay. What I like you to do in the first 16 weeks of life is to time your naps by using wake windows. That means that you are going to pay attention to the time that your baby wakes up, the amount of time that they're awake before they are ready to go down for their next nap. Generally, your children are going to be able to stay awake a little bit longer the older that they get. We'll talk a little bit about length of wake windows, and then I'm going to talk about exactly how we can use wake windows to our advantage to start practicing naps in the bassinet. All babies will be different, and day to day, it could be different too in terms of the amount of wake window timing that your baby will follow. Generally, from 0 to 8 weeks though, I recommend about a 30 to 45 minute wake window. Then as we get from 8 to 12 weeks, we can get anywhere from 45 to 75 minutes. 12 to 16 weeks, we will get from 75 minutes to 120 minutes of a wake window. Please know that there is variability in these wake windows. So you really need to pay attention to your child and pay attention to their sleepy cues and catch them before the end of the wake window. This is the most important piece of trying to nail naps in the bassinet. We are not going to be able to do a nap in the bassinet if your baby is crying. We are not going to be able to do a nap in the bassinet if they are past their wake window. We're not going to be able to do it if they are too overtired, right? So if any of those scenarios are happening, just give in and enjoy a snuggle nap for that time period, right? And try again the next time. When we will be able to do a nap in the bassinet or on a flat and firm surface, not on you, is when they are just at the edge of their wake window. So let's use this for an example. Your baby is 10 weeks old, and we know that they can stay awake about 75 minutes. So that's an hour and 15 minutes. They woke up from nap 1 at 9 a.m. We know their next nap is going to be at 10:15. The way that I would structure that time, if everything was ideal and perfect, would be they would feed at 9 a.m. and get a nice full feed, which will probably last until about 9:30. Then I would do a little bit of playtime with them. I would change their diaper. And then at around 10 o'clock, I would go into a dark room. I'm going to say a side note really quickly. Generally until about 14 weeks, I don't recommend all naps being in the dark. I actually like them to be in a light and bright room like this so that we can establish light and dark differentiation. When we are practicing crib sleep or bassinet sleep, though, it can be helpful to be in a dark environment. So at around 10 o'clock, I am going to go into the dark environment, which is about 15 minutes prior to the end of the wake window, and I'm going to set the scene, right? I'm going to change the diaper. I'm going to put on a swaddle because swaddles will help prevent the startle reflex. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to sing a calm song. Then at about 10:05, 10 minutes before the end of the wake window, I'm going to put my baby down, drowsy but awake, which even as a sleep consultant, I hate saying. I feel like that's such an elusive term. Basically what I mean though is that you just know your child is tired and ready for sleep, right? So we can do a little rocking, we can do a little coaxing, and what I want to see from your child is that their eyebrows are red, they're kind of staring off into space, maybe their eyes are starting to get heavy. All of those are signs that they are ready to sleep. We place them down in the bassinet or the crib, and then you're going to do the assisting to sleep from the crib side. So if normally you're assisting to sleep here, you're actually going to do the assisting crib side, and you'll jiggle them a little bit, right? Firm hand on the belly, rub the cheeks, and literally sit there and get them to go to sleep, but not in your arms, and wait until they pass out. In an ideal situation, your child will take about 5 to 10 minutes and they will drift off into a nice slumber. And then what we can expect is they might give you a 30 or 45-minute nap. Maybe they'll shock you and they'll sleep for an hour and a half, right? Expectations are that even with bassinet sleep, you're still going to get the same length of sleep if they started the nap on you and you transferred them, or if they started the nap in the bassinet or the crib, right? So short naps at this age are very, very common. They can be elongated when you are contacting them because you are assisting them throughout the sleep cycle transition. There's not much to help assist them when they are laying in a bassinet independently. So don't be alarmed at the length of the nap. What we can celebrate is the fact that they did it on their own, right? They did it from an awake state with the assistance of a parent, but not on top of you. And that's a huge improvement that I want you to be super excited about. The time of day I want you to practice this is in the morning hours. So anywhere before noon, 1 o'clock, great time to practice. Anytime after 1 o'clock, you can give it a go if your baby's easygoing or if you're really motivated. It's harder as you get closer to the evening. They're a little more overstimulated, it's brighter out in the daytime. It's just more challenging to get bassinet sleep to happen when it's later in the day. And then let's talk about what happens if it doesn't work, right? So you timed it perfectly, the environment's great, the white noise is on, you've got them in the swaddle, putting them in the bassinet, they're drowsy, and like 5 or 10 minutes have gone by and they are just not having it. They're starting to wail. Just pull the plug. It's all right. They're babies. They're learning something new. And if they're not able to get it, this is just about practice. It is not about perfection at all at this age, and really, if you ask my opinion, at any stage in parenting. What we do if there is frustration or if they are not able to successfully fall asleep on their own is you pick them up and then you assist them. And then we try again at the next nap phase. A bonus tip that can help you at nap time is actually trying this process at bedtime. The best learning time is at the onset of sleep at the front end of the night. So if you wanted to transfer this skill of falling asleep in a bassinet kind of on their own to the nap time, you really can start to practice at bedtime. Again, this is not sleep training. This would be you putting them in the crib at the perfect time with assistance, with a swaddle, with all of the things, right? And actually you assisting them to sleep crib side, not in your arms, right? Or not at the breast or at the bottle. And then what we might start to see is because they're starting to build that muscle at bedtime, they can then use that muscle in the daytime. Practice, not perfection, making progress in slow increments and celebrating the small wins. That's what it's all about in the newborn stage, right? We want to make sure that You're giving yourself grace and you're giving your baby grace. Some babies are going to be able to nail this on some days and not others. Some are going to nail it sooner rather than later. So make sure you're not comparing yourself and your baby to other babies. And if it's starting to get really frustrating to contact sleep your baby, start calling in the troops, right? If you have family or friends to rely on, they love baby holding. They love contact napping. They're not doing it all day long, so call in the grandmas and the aunties and see if they can come over and do a bunch of contact naps while you take some time off, while you nap, while you get out of the house, take a shower, right? Take a bite to eat so that you can take a little bit of a break. Know that once you get to 4 months old, you really can start to work on actual independent naps. And until then, all of this is just, unfortunately, kind of developmentally appropriate, and this too shall pass. Any questions, let me know in the comments below, and on your way down, like and subscribe so that I know that you love this information, because I love interacting with families like you and helping you get more sleep. It's the best part of my job. As always, from my living room to yours, thank you so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you next time.